Hi, everybody. Welcome to my podcast. I'm Cindy Wider, and today I have the most amazing guest that I've invited, and she is Sharon Cow. I am so excited to introduce her to you. Let me tell you a little bit more about Sharon before we get started, but let's just say hello. Hi, Sharon. How are you
Hello,
doing?
I am fine. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you for being here for us. We're so excited to meet you. Now, everyone, let me tell you about Sharon. Sharon SSC is an artist living and working in Penang, Malaysia. She began seriously pursuing coloured pencil art in 2013 and has been a signature member of the Coloured Pencil Society of America since 2016. She has exhibited both locally and internationally, and her artworks have been featured in several international publications. She strongly believes that colour pencil is on par with other conventional fine arts mediums and has been championing it ever since. Wow, that you are just amazing, Sharon. And I've seen a lot of your work over time. It is absolutely incredible. You truly are a great master, and it's an
Oh,
honor to have you here.
thank you, Cindy.
What's it like for you today? How are you feeling over there? Tell me what the weather's like.
So, since I'm living on the island, so the temperature is quite, not that extreme.
Mm.
So this is the coolest time of the year for Malaysia. Otherwise, it's hot and humid. As you can see in my studio, I practically work in a cave. There's no window, there's nothing right beside the kitchen, right beside the toilet. So
That's
it's
nice and
perfect.
handy, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's perfect. I don't get the humidity
Mm.
now. It's perfect time to work, but sometimes I do get lazy, right? With this kind of
Oh.
weather. Oh, beautiful
So,
weather.
Sharon, does that weather affect your pencils at all?
No, not at all. I'm intrigued because I do have fellow color pencil artists that told me that they get like a, I don't know, probably because of the brand of pencil you use. If you use more wax-based pencil, probably it will affect. I mean, to get softened or too hard.
I
But the
agree.
pencil, yeah,
Yeah,
the
because I know the
pencil.
difference between when I was using coloured pencil when we lived in the UK and then the
Ah,
difference to living in Australia. And it is quite different because we're in Cairns where it's quite hot. So I
yeah,
agree. It is something to do with the wax-based pencils, isn't
I
it?
think
Yeah,
so. I
I
think so.
think
I
so.
I
Mm.
don't have any problem with that so
Well,
far.
that's good because you have such a beautiful fine technique. And I'm going to leave a link below for
Okay.
anybody to go and see some of Sharon's work because I've done an interview with her in the past, haven't we? And that's a written interview where you can see a lot more of her work and there'll be a link to Sharon's work. It is sensational. And
Oh,
so
you.
today, though, Sharon, we're
Mhm,
here because we want to learn more about living a creative life. And
mhm,
our audience is mostly retired women who
mhm.
really aspire to be doing great art like you do, or they already are doing some great art, but the level that you're working at is incredible. And so we just want to know, where did it all begin? Where did you first start to learn to draw? Can you tell us?
Wow. Okay. I guess as children, as kid, when we are growing up, anybody, no matter who are you, where are you, what race or what, we are creative. We explore, right? With crayons and color pencil. But of course, as life goes on, we were like, how do you call that? We were taught, we were trained that you
That's
have to do this, you have to finish your education, get a job, comfy job, earn money, raise a family. I went through all this. So during the school time, I was very good with my art. I don't care about other subject. English, okay, okay, not too bad because I came from an English speaking background, even though we live in Malaysia. So, uh, art has always been the ace. I always score in my art. And guess what? I've been using color pencil. Well, I guess teacher is very important.
yeah.
A teacher is very important. How the teacher guide you as a student, that what made me pick up color pencil. In
Wow.
school, in Malaysia, the syllabus is like UK. Okay, we follow the UK syllabus. That means when it comes to art, there's always mostly using what? Poster colors, watercolor.
Yes,
That's
so student
basically.
grade sort of products. That's what
Yes.
you mean. Yes.
Yes, graphite maybe, but when it comes to exam, they expect you to use watercolor or poster color for that matter.
Hmm.
And color pencil is unheard of. But because of my art teacher, and he noticed that I'm good in handling with color pencil, and he told me, Sharon, when it comes to the exam, keep your color pencil. Do what you do with color pencil. Then I was like, what about the exam board? What if they fail me, right? We have to send our artwork to the central, uh, I don't know what department in Malaysia. Then he said, don't worry, if they ever fail, because I went through all the bylaws and all these things, it never stated that you can't use color pencil. So do it. Don't worry, I will back you up. If there's any problem, I'll personally go and see the education minister.
Can
So
I just say something? That's very revolutionary because back,
yes,
I mean, how long ago was that? Because really, color pencil hasn't been around for that long,
that
has it?
was that was in 1987. Back
Yeah.
in 1987. So, well, I passed with a excellent A plus and whatnot. I'm so happy. So of course, life takes over. Came out from school, straight away to work, got married, have kids. Occasionally, when I was pregnant, because I was not working when I was pregnant, I doodle. I still go back to my color pencil. I don't know what brand, but I just get whatever I had and just try to draw. And that's about it.
So
So,
So when we
mm,
think about coloured pencil as a medium, and I just said coloured pencil hasn't been around for very long, I didn't mean it that way, I guess. I was just saying accepting coloured pencil as a professional medium hasn't been around so long. So that was quite
mm,
revolutionary of your teacher to allow you to do that in the first place and also
mm,
to encourage you. And Sharon, you really are you're in that early group of people who have really fought to make coloured pencil.
mm.
You've pioneered, you're a
Ah,
pioneer
thank
of
you.
color
I'm not
pencil.
alone.
It's
Okay.
true, though. You are a pioneer of color pencil being elevated into the
All
fine art
right.
world. So, Sharon, can you tell me a little bit more about how you first started with art?
Okay. It started gradually. The easiest thing for me to do before anything, I discovered paint by numbers. Okay, I saw this a kit of this paint by numbers in some shopping mall. I was like, it intrigued me. I said, what is this? Oh, a set of acrylic paint, the tiny one, and they have everything in numbers. Wow, okay. So let's get one. And I tried and I love it because of course, again, I'm bad with brush from before. Then it started like, wow, this is interesting. The colors, I don't need to think. It's very meditative, very relaxing. Yeah. So I think I did about like 20 over pieces. It keeps going. It keeps going. I can't wait after I clean the house, I cook. I can't wait to go to my dining table and start painting. It gives me that joy, that feeling of like, wow, and didn't realize that the time passes so fast.
So, did
So
that sort of ignite the passion in you in the first place?
yes, yes, it's sort of like got me thinking, I can do better with my own creation, my own work, because after some time, after 20 over pieces, I got a bit bored because it's like, uh, I already know how. Now I want to explore my own.
How did you move into colored pencil as a professional medium?
Okay. Okay, so just a bit back to the story. I started late at the age of 43, which is back in 2013, right? So that's when my daughter has left for after high school, and all these things got me thinking, right? What's next? uh what to do, like go back to work. I'm a bit old to go back to work at 40 something, right? So I figured art. Let's do art. I love to do art, get back into art. I was thinking in the field of oil oil painting because I thought that is what people accept. When you want to be call yourself an artist, you have to be able to use oil painting, right? Not even watercolor for that matter. So, but I'm hopeless with brush. Hopeless with brush. I don't know how to mix color with brush. So I said, okay, what about color pencil? It got me back. I Googled. Yeah, Malaysia first, of course. Any color pencil artist or any artist that uses color pencil? None. The most they use is for sketches, okay? They have these urban sketches that they go around and draw buildings with watercolor or pencil. They use a bit of color pencil, and that's about it. And Google further, Thailand, Singapore, Japan. No. I mean, there are people who use, but not in a what you call professional way. So then I went to Facebook and I just Googled colored pencil art, and voila, that's a group. They are from the US. Cindy, I think probably you will remember color pencil group of what is such a long name. I can't remember.
Oh, yes, I was a
There
member of
was
that group too.
the earlier group of color
Yes,
pencil.
yes.
Probably there's around one or two that group. So I went in and start looking at the comments, and I was like blown away. I mean, this is color pencil? Seriously, what type of color pencil? Then a lot of question. Then it got me thinking, just like now I'm sitting in front of the laptop, then I said like, wow, there is possibility, and the work that I've seen, which was used by using a color pencil, was amazing. Why? Why can't they be called a professional art medium? Start questioning. Then I found out about Colored Pencil Society of America. There is such a organization. I was like, wow, there is. Okay, get to learn more and to understand what they are doing using colored pencil. And what I found out, Cindy, you may explain to your viewer about colored CPSA. Yeah, what they are doing. They are championing color pencil. Then it got me back. Look, I'm in Malaysia, Southeast Asia. No one has done color pencil. Wow. This is my what you call my
Your niche,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
your
my
thing.
do
Mm.
it. Okay. Then if I want to do it and it's not mere hobby, no. You cannot say like only do it when I have time. I want to do it professionally. I know it's going to be a very tough journey, very tedious. I will face with a lot of challenges. Yeah, I know I'm prepared. Well, that's one good thing about being an artist at an older age. I
Yeah.
guess we are more grounded, and then we sort of can think what to expect rather than just go in blindly and like, voila, I did a beautiful work. People will be amazed, but you don't know what we have to go through in order to be acknowledged that you're right, color pencil can be a professional medium. So
Yes,
that's
and a lot of those societies, that you're a member of, the Colour Pencil Society of America and all of that, they are so important, aren't they? And they really support the artists to make
yes,
them be recognized. And you are very much involved with them, a lot more than what I am,
yes,
because I'm not predominantly a colour pencil
yeah, yeah.
realism
Yeah.
artist. But anyway, I'm a children's book illustrator artist. And
Oh,
as a fine artist, I was painting in acrylic painting. But
mm-mm.
so anyway, but back to you. This is so interesting because you did know of the hurdles that faced you, but you still persisted. And why is that? Why were you persisting so definitely with colored pencil? Tell us about that.
Probably because I believe in color pencil, because I have set my mind to pursue this professionally. And what I've seen my what I call my peers at that time, 2014, 2015, so on. I mean, why can't they recognize why do you not call this art? I mean, they are as good as the oil painting. I'm talking about realism, right? When they draw portrait of people, flowers, birds, as good as oil painting. So And with the backup of CPSA, Color Pencil Society, I know I definitely will go far. At that time, I knew it will go far. Maybe I would not be recognized of what I'm doing, but I can probably share my experience with the younger generation. I want them to be open, right? For artists in the younger generation, that
Hmm.
you don't need only oil, you don't need to use oil only, or watercolor or acrylic for that matter. Color pencil can be as good. So
Yes,
that was my my intention. Not
yes.
about myself. Yes, not about myself.
Isn't that wonderful? So your intention has always been to leave a legacy and to make sure that there is
To
a
op-
legacy of colored pencil.
I would say it's a legacy. I am more of a setting a path.
Yes,
Setting a path.
yes.
I go and cut down the weeds and whatnot, a small path so the
Hmm.
back can follow, they can do a better road. I mean, build a better road. Yeah,
I
that's what
love that. So it's like an introduction, isn't it? It's like making sure that that path is built so then they
Ah,
can walk it
yeah.
further and deeper and open
Yes,
into new generations. And you're doing
exactly.
that so well. And the thing I
Oh,
love about your work, though, Sharon, is that it's so deep and meaningful. It's absolutely fine art. What is your favorite artwork that you've created so far and why?
I guess the first very early work, can you see at the back? Uh,
Yes.
the portrait of my parents' hand. I did it way earlier. I think it was in 2013, if I'm not mistaken. Very meaningful. So that piece that people start to notice my work. Why? Because my father was hospitalized at that time, right? So then I was practicing with color pencil, and I know the most difficult part of a portrait to draw is the hands. Hands is always the most difficult part. So I told dad on the hospital bed, Papa, can you do me a favor? Can you hold mom hand like that? I just want to draw just the hand. So he did. I took a photo of it and I start doing the study and I did, and I didn't, it ended up to be the most precious piece of artwork that I've ever done. And not long after that, he passed on.
Oh.
Oh,
And
so
now you have
it holds
that.
dear to me.
Yes, and now you have that beautiful memory too of that special moment. And
So that's what kicked me into doing art with more meaning because okay, when we do realism, people see, they know what it is, but I want them to see more.
mm,
Yeah, to see more. There's a story behind it. So that is my path with realism.
and you can see that story in your work. And what about the body of work that you're working on at the moment? All those wonderful toys you're drawing. Can you please tell us about that? I'm
Okay.
loving seeing them.
Okay, that is so funny. I came to a crossroad probably about 2 years back, and I sat down. It's like, where am I going with my art? I've been through a lot. Uh, let's go back a bit. When I started, not to say rejection, people sort of like look down on you. Okay, when they said, "Oh, introduce yourself. Oh, you are who? And then what do you do?" I'm an artist. Oh, artist. What medium? So when I say color pencil, it could. I guess the person who asked me felt embarrassed for me. I guess. So I was
Little
like,
do they know what an incredible medium it is.
yeah, they keep thinking like, oh, I'm doing this, what you call this coloring book. There's one
Hmm.
time before COVID, it was very popular, the Secret Garden or something. Yeah. So
Mm.
people know about color pencil
Hmm.
through coloring books. So they
Joanna
thought,
Basford, yes,
yeah,
incredible color pencil
I know,
um,
right?
illustrator, isn't she?
Yes,
For
yes.
coloring books, incredible.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yep.
So I got that a lot. So initially, at the early stage, I was quite offended
Mm.
when people react that way. I mean, I can't blame. I mean, I'm only human. I felt offended, start questioning myself. Am I doing the right thing? And I'm pursuing the right thing? So a lot of question. But then took me a few days to solve and like, but I came back again. No, this is what I want because I can see the potential. I know there's potential. It takes a long time. I know that. I don't expect it to happen like a year or two. Okay. So that's how it goes. So now tried my best, entered competition, exhibition, blah, 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 so on and so forth. So I got tired of that because, as I grow older, I just want to be in my studio and just draw.
Oh, that's
It's
beautiful.
pretty tiring going out and what you call socialize.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And
But I,
so when you're drawing now,
mm,
um, so it's a very big part of your life still, isn't it, Sharon? Drawing,
it
obviously.
is,
Yeah.
still
And
is.
can you tell our audience, though, how does it feel when you're in the studio? And just think really deeply for a moment. You don't have to answer right away, but try to describe the feelings that you get when you draw, because some people haven't drawn before, Sharon, and they're wondering why we draw. So if you could explain to them what it is that drives you, what is that feeling? Just try. I know it's not easy.
No, it is easy for me because when I'm doing my work in my studio, I feel at peace. Okay? I mean, every human have their problems. You have so many things to think about. But when you and your drawing is there, you only concentrate on what you're doing. It's like meditation. To me, it's like meditation. When I'm in the bad mood, I got let down. I felt let down. I come into my studio, peace, deep breath, don't think about anything, just give myself a couple of hours, just keep doing. And after when I walk out of my studio, I feel so much better. It's true, very meditative. No matter what medium, I would say, I wouldn't be biased and say, oh, it's only color pencil.
Well, what about a time when, for example, you're just too tired? What do you do about that? You're too tired, but you know you want to draw. What do you do about that?
Rest. But of course, at the back of my mind, like if I have a deadline to meet, it's always at the back of my mind. I can't sleep, but you need to be at peace with yourself. The work has to be from the heart. The work has to be sincere.
Mm.
Don't do it under pressure, then you will ruin the paper. I don't like to throw my paper because they're expensive. So I try not to make mistake. So when I come in and do my work, everything, whatever that bugs me, out at the door. Leave it outside the door. Come in with a blank mind and just relax and do. But if I'm tired, I rest. Take a break, no matter how long. Don't give yourself that time. Don't put pressure to yourself. Take a break, watch the TV box, watch the stupid TV. I call this idiot boxes. Excuse my language. Yeah,
Yes.
just chill.
Mm.
Don't think about anything. Then when you come back fresh.
So, what about for women who are working really hard during the week and all they've got is the time? I call it your pajama time. So, that's the little blocks of time that often you are, maybe on your phone scrolling. And I say use those little blocks of time to draw.
Mhm.
Does that apply to you though? Because I suppose you're sort of semi-retired, are you? Or do you work full time with drawing? Is that your full-time
Yes, full-time
passion?
drawing.
Yeah.
Yes, since
Yeah.
in my 40s. Yes, full-time.
Yes.
So I can say that those who are working full-time,
Mm, mm,
weekend is again, is your time. Then I say it's very relaxing.
mm.
Do it happily. Don't, unless you want to be a full-time artist, yes, of course, you have to push yourself. But if you're taking up art, just to clear your mind and to practice first, I would say that who knows, you won't be an artist or whether you want or not. It's up to the individual, your path, what you choose after retirement or what. But we have to be practical. We have to work to earn a living. I understand that, right?
Yes, and I love what you said though, that you could come in ready to paint and you've got all these problems out in the real world, and they're going to have that as well, obviously, people who are working still. But for retired women, for example, who I mostly work with, retired women, we might have all these problems happening. And like you
Yes.
said, then you go to sit down and it just alleviates all those worries. And that's why we draw, isn't it, Sharon? Because
Yes.
it just takes us off into another world.
Even now, even though I am a full-time artist, you know what I have to do first in the morning? Wake up, have coffee with my husband before he leaves for work, and then I cook. So I cook one meal a day. So it's like I eat my lunch simple and dinner when they come back. I make sure I've done all the housework, the cleaning and stuff. This is like retirement, it's the same. Make sure everything's clean, laundries is done. Then after my shower, that's it. This is my time. So I probably spend about like 6 to 7 hours a day if I'm rushing forward to get
So
my work done.
I really admire that so much that you do give yourself structure so
Yeah.
you get all of your responsibilities done and that's out the way. And then you say, right, this is my time now. And don't you find that you have to claim that space because nobody's going to give that to you? You've got to
Yes.
claim that. Would you agree?
Yes, you have to claim that. Or else, if you have kids like mom, what's for dinner? Mom, where's my this shirt and whatnot? I said, look, do not disturb me, okay? Weekend is out of question. Weekend when they are all at home. I have to be a mom and as a wife. So weekday, I got a very strict schedule. I make sure because to be a full-time artist, you cannot be like, oh, I feel like drawing today, I draw, and tomorrow I don't feel like drawing. No, you have to be very structured, very proper.
Hmm.
Yeah, discipline. So
And
this is talking in the term of full-time. Yeah.
And that works really well, it sounds like, for you, Sharon, because you
Yes.
obviously like order and structure. And we can
Oh,
see that in your work because it's so meticulous. It's just so beautiful. That leads me back to the question again, though. What about your series that you're working on at the moment? Can you
yeah.
tell us more
So
about that?
this series is one circle. So it is about letting go, having fun, it's a childhood memory, all the what you call nostalgic toys.
Yes.
Right. So this series is for my upcoming second solo exhibition in December. So I figured the first solo was very zen. It's all about the rocks. It's very zen, very quiet. So this time, at the age of 55, I said, let's do something fun. Let's give the naysayers that think that color pencil is only for children. Yeah, I'll do something that relates to children,
That's
colorful,
brilliant.
playful, but in an artistic way. That means in a very, very hyper realism way. It's
Beautiful.
playful, it's colorful, but look, I show them, look, this is a kids play. Yeah, so it's my color pencil, but look, this is precision, and this is what color pencil can do.
Wow. Now, I
Something.
love that point, and that is a really good point of discussion now, too, to talk about that, because there's one thing to be creating an artwork from a
Mhm,
photograph, but then it's
mhm.
another thing actually composing that artwork and making the decisions.
Yes.
So,
Oh,
how do you get your ideas? Can you tell our audience, how do you come up with your ideas? Where do they
okay, let's
begin?
very easy. My subjects are always everyday things, like a rock, could be flowers. Not so much into flowers because I don't quite like bright colors, which I'm doing now. But okay, long story short. Okay, anything that you see can be anything, a mug, even, but put a story in it. Make a story in it. This is like a storytelling. You can draw a beautiful mug, let's say, or what you call a British teacup. They are very quaint with the flowers. You can draw that, and then, but come up with a story. So the composition is very important for me. Any drawing or painting, I call it, composition is very important. That means the mood. How do you set the mood? What you want the audience to feel when they see a cup and a saucer. It can just be a cup and a saucer, but you play with it. So for the process of my work, the composition is very, very important and the most difficult one. Yeah.
Tell us more about why that's so difficult.
Yeah, because again, you have to think of a story. When I It's very hard to say, Everyone has a different way of seeing things, but when I see things, I'm probably not to say sentimental, I create in my mind. Okay, Cindy, you're a children book illustrator. I'm sure your creative mind, when you see something, let's say a rock, some very interesting rock, you'll start making stories in your head already, right? So that's how I see it. I make a story, then I keep to it. And how am I going to draw this to set the mood? Let's say if missing someone, let's say a cup and a saucer, you're missing someone. You're thinking of somebody who is not here anymore. So the cup and the saucer remind you of him or her. So how do you compose it to make people feel that longing feeling? So that takes time. Composition is very important. I play with the light and shadow. For me, light and shadow is very important. So this is very technical already. I photograph it. Yeah, I photograph it. Photoshop, play with Photoshop, a bit of computer, nothing fancy, just a very basic light and shadows. And the rest is just, it flows. Yeah.
So what you've just described is the most beautiful example of what I actually teach my students too in mentoring.
Oh,
When I'm
okay.
teaching composition, I actually break that down into three major stages. So I say to them, we have the heart and soul stage at first. And during the
Right.
heart and soul, that is when you're getting that emotional connection that you just spoke about. And so
Right.
then I get them to talk to themselves, to write to themselves, to do
Mm.
thumbnail sketches, and it sounds just like what you're saying.
Oh,
And then,
no.
yeah,
Really?
and that doesn't it, wouldn't you say that idea, that first stage, because I call that the heart and soul, wouldn't you say that that is the longest stage? That's what I feel. Once you've got that worked out, don't you
Mm.
feel then that the next stage, and I'll tell you the next stage that I call it, and you're obviously doing this anyway, but this is really exciting to hear you articulate what you do, and then we can align it with what I'm teaching. And so the
Yeah.
second stage is the planning stage where I say to them, right, go and gather your reference materials, do as
Mhm.
much as you possibly can. If you can go and feel it, if you can smell it, if you can hear it, if you can awaken all of your senses, then do it. But if you
Yeah.
can't pat that tiger in the zoo, then you have to just rely on referencing. And I'm
Mhm.
all for my students getting their own original referencing.
All
And
right.
then, of course, the final stage is the application stage, when you're actually putting it onto page, just like what you've said, isn't it?
Yeah.
Basically. So
Yes.
let's together then. Can we just for a moment just expand on this? Because I'm really interested in your work. The
Mm.
reason why I've invited you for this interview, Sharon, is because when I look at your work, it's so different than when I look, for example, at a lovely realistic dog or a lovely
Mm.
realistic cat. And there is
Okay.
so many lovely realistic drawings at the moment.
Great.
But when I look at your work, you're the great master, right?
Oh, say that.
Well,
All
I
right.
guess I'm not here to just shine your halo. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying the
Okay.
truth.
Got it.
I'm just
Mhm.
saying the truth, right? This is true. You
All right.
are the master artist. So you are the artist who is using art as a language, and it's so evident in your work. So the way you compose and the decisions that you make are very profound, and you would be making those decisions long before you show up the table to draw, wouldn't you?
Yes,
Yes. So
absolutely.
so, if for a minute we can just enter ourselves into that three-stage process, and that will probably be all we have time for because I don't want to take too much of your time. But if we just go through that together, I'd love to hear what happens for you. So, let's just start in the heart and soul stage, just take a minute to process what I'm saying. So, for example, what does it feel like for you? How do you go about that heart and soul stage, that first inkling of an idea? What do you do with that in your body, in your soul? What do you
Mm.
do in that space.
Okay, feelings are important. To have feelings, to connect to your feelings. You can be happy, sad, or miserable for that matter, right? Because when you see certain things at the different moment of time, how you feel, you see it differently. Okay? Focus. Okay. Sometimes when I go for a walk or I just doing something out of the house, my handphone is ready. When I see something interesting, take a photo. I don't want to think about it first, take a photo. Then when you come back, go through all the photos and start thinking, what makes you take the photo of that? What was your feeling? What was my feeling at that time? And you can actually trace back to your feeling. I think emotion, feeling is very important to do something. Again, as you say, you can see there are a lot of great artwork of dogs. Animals is very not easy to translate because you have photos of animal all over. You can just take one picture from the Google or Pinterest and you say, oh, this is a beautiful photo of an elephant, beautiful captured, and you start to draw. But the thing is, it's just a beautiful picture of someone who took it. But let's say if you are the one who took the picture of the elephant, you happen to be in Africa and you're there, that feeling is different. So when you draw it or when you translate on paper, it shows because you were there to experience. This is just an example of what I'm saying because it can be very vast. Yeah. Again, go back to the same thing like I'm talking about this cup and saucer. Same thing. Feelings, okay? Very important. Get in touch. When we do art, we, as an artist, we are actually in touch with our inner self. That's deeper. The emotion that we suppress, that we kept, a lot of with daily life, you tend to be not yourself because you need to get things going. As a woman, especially, we suppress our emotion, just to so that everyone is happy. So there are times when I do certain drawing, right? I cry. Oh, speaking about my hair, yeah, that feeling. I cry actually relief. I have to stop and like, why am I crying? Because that is the moment when you and your artwork, you are being true to yourself.
I love that. It's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's true.
And
I'm like, I'm
yeah,
still having
it's
goosebumps because it
beautiful.
happens
Yes,
many
it does.
times. Yeah,
Yeah. And
many times.
I look at this as, that I'm doing this new course at the moment that I've been working on for 2 years now, and it's all about the creative identity transformation. And so,
Mhm.
again, you're describing that experience that is happening to you when you draw.
Still
So it's
does,
all
still.
about finding your identity, isn't it? And
Yes.
expressing yourself. And
Mhm.
I love what you said a bit earlier. You said you could just go and take a picture from the internet of an elephant or whatever, and then you
Yeah,
could just sit down and draw it really realistically and then be very proud of yourself. I mean, I'm saying it a bit differently, but that's the essence that I was getting. But
agree.
you've missed that whole experience that happens when you're the one who took that photo and you were standing there in that magnificence looking at that elephant. And so,
That
yes,
moment.
tell me more.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, I'm saying that I agree as what you say. Is that moment when you are facing the subject, you are there with the subject, that feeling you can't capture. If you take someone else's photo, you don't feel it. It's only a beautiful photo of something. Okay, let's say for instance, example, I was in Taiwan one day. I was with friends. We were a group of artists. Then I saw this man. He's about 70 years old, a bit wrinkle, very what you call. He has a very distinct look, and he has a ponytail, a gray ponytail. He was looking at the street, and he tied. I kept staring at him. I kept staring at him. It's not that he looks like my dad or something. No. I said like, wow. And I walked somewhere else and I come back, I still see him. I said like, well, I have to draw him. I don't know. The minute when I saw him, I thought like, this is something that I'm going to put on paper. So I asked his permission. I went and asked his permission. Can I take a photo of you? Don't pose. Just do what you're doing. I'm just using I think my mobile phone. I just snap, snap, snap. And I came back. I put aside because after the trip and all this, I put aside probably a couple of months. Then one day I went through all my reference and I saw the portrait of this man. And
Mm-hmm.
that emotion came back because
Wow.
I was there when I took the photo. Yeah, the
Very good.
emotion of the look, his eyes, if you go through my artwork, you will see a portrait of him. I can send it to you. So that is, s- you know, when I draw him, it all came back that moment. I still recall when I met this guy, took his photo. And a year after I went back to Taiwan, he actually contacted my friend because my friend showed him the portrait of him. And he said, can I buy the portrait? He wanted to purchase, you know? So I said, I just gave it to him. He was so happy, I think the daughter saw it and the daughter said that you captured my father's character, even though I don't know him. He's a stranger. So
That's
these
very
are
special.
that is special things at the moment like that. You have to be there with the subject. You have to be there to understand the moment, the emotion.
And did you ever look even deeper into the reasoning why you chose to do that portrait? Did you ever look deeper? Was there some other part of you that was being fulfilled by drawing him, Because it's always
Yeah,
interesting to look at the other layers, isn't it?
yeah,
There
yeah.
must have
It's
been
not.
a reason too. Was it just pure beauty? Did you suddenly see beauty in age, for
Yeah.
example?
I see that he has a person who has so much experience. I don't know him, but it's just like he doesn't look like he carry the weight of the world, but he look at peace with himself. That's the beauty. He looks like, not to say relaxed, but I'm sure if I really go inside his brain, I'm sure the experience, what he's been through in his life, there's so much to tell. That look, I until today I still can remember. A stranger, just someone that I don't know, you
I
know.
love that.
So,
You saw so much more into that one moment. And so, do you remember the title of the artwork?
oh, I can't remember. I can't remember. I will
That's
send you.
okay. You do so many artworks. I was curious
Yeah,
about the
100.
title.
I think I have done out about 120 artworks so far.
Oh my goodness, yes,
Yeah,
that's a
since
lot.
I do keep, hang on, I do keep a book.
Wow, that's just been such an incredible time with you, Sharon. Really
Yeah,
getting inside the
thank
mind of
you.
the artist
Yeah.
and also
Mm.
understanding the feelings that are involved when you're creating
Emotion.
art.
Yeah.
Yes,
Art is
emotions.
always with
Yeah.
emotion, with feelings. Yeah. Do
Mm.
it with.
So that's been beautiful. So thank you very much for
Thank you,
being here
Cindy.
today. It's
Wow, it's a bit like almost an hour, right?
Yes, that's right. Well, thank you so much. I'm
Thank you,
really
Cindy.
excited
Keep in
to see
touch.
more. I just want to see more of your art in the future. So I
Oh,
really look forward to hearing from you again.
all
So
right.
take care and
Take
I'll
care.
see you again
Yeah.
sometime.
Bye bye.